If you're following the market, you know the interest rates are going up, and they're predicted to keep going up and keep going up all year. You also know that the supply chain is in complete shambles, and it's taking construction longer and longer to complete. And with inflation, the cost of construction is going up. So the number one concern I have with people that are calling me is they're afraid to buy new construction. They want to buy it, but they're afraid to buy it because they have no idea what it's going to cost when they actually go to closing. They might find a perfect house today. They can be approved by the bank, they're ready to rock and roll, but the time closing comes around, if the interest rates have risen to the point, they might not be able to afford the house that they just plunked a whole bunch of money down on. But KB Homes is one of the builders that has a solution to your problem. We are at KB Homes, Mattie Point in Auburnale, Florida with Jose. How you doing? Welcome to the show. And let us know, what is the solution that KB has to offer to nervous buyers?
So basically KB Homes now is offering a standard rate lock. So if you're upset by the increasing rise of the rates, then you can definitely lock in the price of the house as well as your interest rate at the moment of signing the contract and the pre-approval with your lender. And then KB will pay for that covering of the rate lock. That rate lock can extend up to 360 days, which is well over the time that it takes to build a house. That it normally takes between 9 to 10 months.
Now, is that only if you use KB's, do they have an in-house lender or they have preferred lenders?
Yes, so we have a preferred lender. Our preferred lender is KBHS. Okay. So the only way that we'll be able to lock in the rate will be through our preferred lender, KBHS.
All right, so lock in 360 days, you say that'll cover the whole?
That will cover the whole construction time. So we give you even like delays because, as you say, the supply chain debacle. So we can give you, let's say for example, your house is not being constructed on the time of the 9 or 10 month frame and it get pushed back a month. You're not pulling your hair because you have to pay out of pocket to buy down the rate. You still have those 2 months or 3 months for that 360 days.
Now, are those rates comparable with everywhere else, like today's rate?
Yes, so basically, depending on the time that you do the contract, their MLO is based on your credit, so it's gonna be on the comparable market. So they're gonna give you that interest rate that they're able to lock in for that extended period of time.
All right, sounds good. So I bring a client in, they check out this model, which we'll check out in a minute. They like what they see, they're approved, and the rate they lock in today, that's good when they close.
Exactly. Yeah, as soon as you sign the contract, you not only lock in the rate, but you also lock in the price. Let's say, for example, price of the house go next day, $3,000. You still have the price that you lock in on the moment of contract. So there is no escalation clause like other builders. There is no cancellation clause. So you don't have to pay out of pocket for equity so with the fear of the builder might cancel your contract.
All right, explain what escalation.
So escalation clause, normal, some builders, builder X normally, would vary on their contract. The escalation clause basically making them the availability to ask for the equity of the house depending on the situation of the market. So they have the right on their contract to ask you if you buy a house and it's under construction for 6 months and then you have equity because of the market change for like $30,000. They're able to ask that equity on the closing table. If you don't pay them, they're able to cancel your contract and keep your earnest money deposit.
All right, so layman's terms, basically escalation clause means if the house gets more expensive as they build it,
exactly.
They can jack the price up.
They can jack the price up.
So they're saying what you pay for today, what you signed today, your interest rate is a lock, the cost of the house is a lock, so you know exactly when you sign what's gonna happen when you buy, walk away and get your keys. All right, so what are the other advantages of buying new versus a pre-existing home?
Well, basically buying new gives you a lot of advantage. One of our key fundamentals of the house is A Star certification. So the whole house, not only for the appliances, all the way to the structure of the house is getting built, so that is more efficient into your house. So if you want to take a look here, we actually have the energy certification comparison. So this is the A Star certification comparison. So basically our house is A Star certified. So basically how they measure that, they measure it by a third-party company, which scores them into what they call Hearst. So basically the lower that it is, the better it is, just like golf. So our house is set up in a 55 hertz score versus what is gonna be a typical used home is 130. So that's gonna give you an average bill for the same square footed home, about $173 on average versus ours for $78. That's a huge saving that you can have versus having a used home.
So what model are we in right now?
So KB Home goes based by the model name versus the square footage. So this is a
I do like, so the original,
The
the way they
original.
name KB, it's someone like me can handle. It's not real poetic. It's the 1707 is
The model.
1707 square feet.
Just make it easy for everybody.
Easy.
So basically 1707 is gonna be our most affordable 4.2. But the good thing about this one is even though it's a 1,700 square foot home, it feels like a 2,000 square foot home because our great room area, open space, a lot of the clarity of the window, the volume ceiling, it gives the aspect that it's a bigger home.
And what model is this?
This is a 2168 model.
Is that the largest in this community?
So this is my second largest. My largest is 2333, 2168 It's my second largest, but the good thing about this model is that the huge primary bedroom that we have on it, versus the living room area is pretty big too.
Now, that's spacious, but you can definitely see the difference.
Yeah.
300 extra square feet, it's just like, wow, like this is a wow.
Yeah, everything is really, it depends on the model that you're looking for. For KB has a model that it has more space in the living room area and a little bit less space on the rooms, and then one that has a lot of space on the rooms and a decent sized living room area. So the 2168 will be like, if you like a 19 square primary bedroom, and a huge closet, that's what you're looking for, then we have it. But if you're looking for more space in the great room area, we also have the 2333, where it gives you a lot more space.
Now your homes are fully customizable.
Mm-hmm.
About how much above builder grade are the models?
So we are pretty much what it comes just below a custom builder. Mm-hmm. So we personalize the home pretty much in every aspect. Mm-hmm. So we have pre-selected personalization that we can do structural wise on the house, but we also offer our studio. So when you sign the contract, it'll be your structural changes that you want on the house. You go to the studio and then you can pick anything from flooring to the paint of the wall, to the size of the cabinet, the size of the cabinet, everything. If you want flooring throughout the house, or if you want just a section of the house without flooring, you can pick all that at the studio.
I mean, this flooring is obviously an upgrade.
Yes,
this is beautiful.
Thanks.
So it says vinyl.
Yeah, this is
wood.
So this is vinyl that kind of gives you the appearance of wood. So this is pretty popular now because they're easy to clean, better for cost efficiency, cost effective, and then it's easier to maintain also in the long run.
How they hold up with clothes.
With scratch resistant, it doesn't lift with water, so it's pretty good for all weather purpose and pets.
And how about the standard countertops? What are they?
So standard countertops. So KB builds like the basic home of KB is really basic, so that way we can have the lower budget buyer.
If you're a first time buyer, it enables you to get in on this community.
So you can control the budget. So KB says there is no twin home, there is also no twin budget. So that's basically what we do. So our countertops come standard for mica, but you can upgrade it to different levels of granite or quartz. It depends on what your taste is and your budget also.
All right, so someone's coming by, they come in, they like what they see, they got their rate locked in, the price locked in. How much do they have to put down to lock those things in?
So if it's a primary buyer, you can do FHA or conventional loan, only putting $5,000 for your deposit. And if you're a VA or you're doing USDA loan, it's only $2,000 deposit.
Great deal.
Great deal. And there is no waiting list, so you don't have to go into an intent to buy and wait, and your price will be not locked in. So if you like the house, you can contract it, deposit, and get pre-qualified on the same day.
And people can actually pick their lot.
They can go pick the lot, whichever lot they want. They can put whichever house they want. So it's not predetermined a house or the lot. So you pick the lot, the house, the specification, the personalization, and the upgrades that you want.
Just, I guess, an interesting point of trivia or whatever. You'll see my house is right over there. Alright, so if you're seeing this video right after I post it, obviously you would come down here. If you like Auburnale, that's great. But it's not just now, and it's not just here. These programs are throughout the state of Florida. They have locations everywhere. When this closes out, you'll just be moving to the next new site, because when one shuts down, boom, boom, another one or two more pop up. So if you like what you see, you like this model, but you want a different location, all this stuff's available throughout the state of Florida. And I can help you out in pretty much any location, from Tampa all the way up I-4 to Daytona Beach, and pretty much everything towards the beach the other way.
We have 22 locations from here, from Lakeland all the way to Titusville. So if anything,
that's perfect. That's my service area. So all right. So on that note, if someone uses an agent as opposed to just walking in, what does that cost them extra if they use an agent?
Nothing. Actually, they're giving representation.
All right. So it's actually to your benefit to use an agent. A couple different reasons. Sales associates, trust them, they're good, but their job is to represent the company and do what's best for the company. Same thing, the contracts, There's a standard contract throughout Florida, which is written to kind of benefit both sides. Every builder, it's not just KB thing, every builder, they don't follow that standard Florida contract, they all write their own. They have high-powered, multi-million-dollar lawyers writing a contract, so who's the contract going to benefit the most? Obviously the client, which is the builder. So, and I'm not insinuating anything nefarious, I'm just saying, you know, if you're going to court, I was a cop for 26 years, I trust the system, but you're a damn fool if you go to court and don't have a lawyer to represent you. Same thing, if you're playing the Super Bowl, you don't let the other team's coach be the referee, you want to be equally represented. So you get yourself a representative who understands the contracts, who understands things like this. Like you might be looking at another builder and your agent can say, well, wait a minute, KB's got a good deal they're going with your interest rates and you can lock in, you might want to check this out. They know the different areas and they also have an idea. I bought 2 new homes down here. There's certain upgrades I did because it was logical, economical, it was smart to do it at construction. And there's some other things I say, maybe wait, there's contractors in the area can do it cheaper, or maybe you just enjoy the house for 4 to 5 years, and then when you say, all right, we want to kind of freshen it up, that's when you put the granite in, or just throwing it out as an example. So there's different things you want to use. An agent doesn't cost you a dime, but if you don't get an agent, it could cost you a whole heck of a lot. picked that site. And it was premium for us because we're on this side, we're on this side. A lot of people are looking for that. So being able to pick your lot is really sweet. Our new house we're getting, I couldn't pick it. It was basically, as soon as it came available, you jump on it. You guys are able to customize. So what do you got here?
So basically this is our whole community right here. It goes by phases. So right now we're in the second phase. So everything that shows green is you able to pick the lot and place any house that you want to. So let's say for example 106, we click 106. Sorry, it's buggy. And then you see that you can place any model into that lot. So we do spec homes, but we don't have like all our lots spec. So it's like if you like the nicest lot, you can put the smallest house on it, or vice versa. It's not predetermined by the size or where the lot is by the premium.
So it's a premium lot here then? You don't have to pay extra for that one, or you do?
So normally all these lots right here are $12,000 lots, but we're running a promotion in these two lots, 106 and 107. Right now there's zero premium, so you're able to save those $12,000.
So I actually want to check that out. We paid premium for ours. Plus I had to pay to flip the house so that my lanai would be facing the water instead of facing my neighbor. I only have one neighbor, and I didn't want to face him. Or at least my wife didn't want to face him. She doesn't want to be living around anybody. So I actually checked it. We'll go out and check this out because for me, if I'm a shopper, this is what I'm hitting on this right here. So one more thing, I noticed when you hit it, you guys have several 2-story, and I see the 2 stories popping up. That's not a Florida thing. Florida, it's all ranchers. But would you say it's the influence of all the people moving down from the north? It's like the change of the culture, like it's a 2-story culture up north.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why we're starting to see them so much more often down here.
I think it's a little bit of both. You have a lot of the people from upstate. When they move in, they either want to have the Florida dream, have the ranch, the single story with the big lot, or they just have a big family. Then the 2-story is going to give you the most rooms, and it's going to give you the bigger patio because of the footprint of the house is a lot. So it's less long versus you get a lot more square footage.
I think you're saying family, that's a big factor too.
Yeah.
Ranchers, retirees don't want to go up and down the steps. Now you have a lot more working aged families moving down here, large families. So
exactly, and they got a big family, and then if you need more than 5 rooms, that's why you get a 2-story.
All right, so hey, I want to see this lot. I want you to see this lot. So let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Everything is not enough. Really hot by the ocean. Among all those white hot sands, where every sunrise is just for you. So come along and take my hand.
When you're dealing with Florida, especially with new builders, you're going to hear 2 different terms. Water view, you're also going to hear conservation. I think you label this water, but this really, it's basically a combination of 2. Conservation for normal people is just the woods, but it's usually owned by the county, owned by the state. It just means they're not going to build on it. Like the house we showed you, my house, when we moved in, this was an orchard. So we had this beautiful, we had pond, and then an orchard on my left, and on my left and behind me, and now it's KB homes, a new development. We kind of knew it was going to happen, so it's not a big deal. But if it says conservation, it means they're not going to build. So you get this beautiful view here, and you have water. Now the water, it's not actually, it's really man-made ponds. We like to call it pond because it just sounds cuter. It's really a retention basin. The way Florida runs, you get torrential downpours for like 15 minutes, half hour, and then it goes away. But heavy rain real quick, you want to make sure you have runoff. So houses are built higher, they run off, you don't get any water problems with your house. That's good, it protects it. And believe it or not, we do have a gator, a little gator. It's a retention basin, but I'm going to call it a pond because we have a little gator over there. I have gators in mine. If that freaks you out, maybe Florida's not for you. It freaked us out first, but they're, I don't want to call them friendly, but they're certainly not hostile. I mean, they're just like any other wild animal. You shouldn't be screwing with them. It's illegal to screw with them, but they're not going to bother you. Once you get used to the idea of a dinosaur living next to you, it's actually not a big deal. But they're fishable. So that's what the gators, frogs, turtles, fish, and I actually see people fishing. I don't know how the life gets into man-made things so fast. It's amazing, but like in Jurassic Park, they said life finds a way. So that's pretty much it. You got anything to add, or just this is a nice site out here? You can kind of spin around. You want to just check out the whole construction site? Thank you for being on Florida Real Estate News, and hopefully you come down and we can hook you up, and Jose and I will help you build a perfect dream home.